So the other day while playing around with Mr. Large 2, I wanted to go ahead and see where it's ranked inside of the leaderboard arena that we have on Hugging Face. And I was actually surprised, not by the score of Mr. Large 2, but with the fact that we have a change at the top of the ranking, meaning that we have a new top model. And I was even more shocked by the fact that there was not enough headlines out there about the matter. So when GPT-4 came out, it seems like it was everywhere. And the same thing for Claude 3.5 Sonnet. But the fact that Gemini took the throne and not a lot of people have written about it, it is just kind of weird. So today we are going to test this new model, see if it actually outperforms the state-of-the-art models from Anthropic and OpenAI, and talk about the unique features that it has. So with that being said, let's jump to my screen. So if we go to aistudio.google.com, we're going to be able to basically start interacting with the models that we have. Here, we only need to choose Gemini 1.5 experimental. And the first thing that we're going to see is the fact that it has 2 million tokens. Now, however good or bad the model is, the fact that we have this many tokens means that this model is going to outperform all of the other models on so many use cases. I've made a video before on how important the number of tokens is. So the fact that we can go to 2 million will not only help us analyze videos and large documents, but will also be the only option when it comes to data scraping from large websites or other use cases that we cannot solve with 100 or 200,000 context length. So we're going to keep the temperature as 1, and I am going to show you the questions that we are going to be testing this model with. I have all of these questions here. It's 12 questions, and I've already done this test with the other models, and leader basically all of this is Claude 3.5 Sonnet. So the first question is, Sally, a girl, has 3 brothers. Each brother has 2 sisters. How many sisters does Sally have? So the answer to this is, of course, 1 sister. And right out of the bat, we can see that it hasn't been able to answer this question. Sally has 2 sisters. Here's why. All the brothers share the same sisters. Sally and her other sister are the 2 sisters that each brother has. So meaning that Sally has only 1 sister. Okay, this is the wrong answer, and I did not expect this because all of the other models has been able to answer this question with no problem. Okay, so let's ask it again. Let's say, how many sisters does Sally have, excluding herself? So excluding herself, Sally has 1 sister. Okay, that's correct, but it's not correct from the first try. And here we have harassment. Oh, that's weird. Okay, so this is not 100% pass. This is going to be 6 or 7. So let's go ahead and go to the second question. So here we have a question that says I have a chicken named Tom. Then I have other chickens, 6 others, meaning that in total I have 7. Some of them have the same name. And then I have a dog named Nancy. How many chickens do I have? So some models find a problem with answering this question simply because we have the same names. Let's see if it's going to be able to answer this question. So you have 7 chickens. So that is very good. It has been able to actually count them. So this is very good. So 10 out of 10 for this question. Let's go ahead and go to the third question. And in this question that says double it and multiply it by 4, then divide it by 8 and you will have it once more. What number is it? Of course, this can be any number. That's the catch. So it should say that you will end up with original number. So no matter what the number you start with, you will get it back in the end. That is good. So this is a 10 out of 10. Let's go ahead and go to the fourth question. Give me 7 phrases that ends with the word apple. Okay, apple, apple. That is a 10 out of 10. So let's go ahead and go to question 5. If it takes 1 hour to dry 25 shirts in the sun, how long does it take to dry 30 shirts? Of course, the answer is 1 hour. Okay, 12 minutes. And it starts at calculating, and that is the wrong answer. Okay, so this is also not a pass. Let's see. Are you sure that the drying is proportionate to the time period? Let's say in this case, you're right. The question is the assumption is the point. So the answer, 1 hour. Okay, so this is actually a fail. Let's go ahead and go to Gemini 1.5 Pro. Let's ask it the same question. Okay, so same thing. Same thing. Even Gemini 1.5 Pro haven't been able to answer this question. So this is a fail. This is a 0 out of 10. Let's go ahead and go to the 6th question. What number is bigger, 9.9 or 9.11? Okay, that is good. Actually, this one, it was very weird that Claude 3.5 Sonnet haven't been able to answer it. Let's go ahead and see the other one. How many R's in the word strawberry? It should be able to say 3. Okay. And you point out the position. It's actually misspelled strawberry. So I give it strawberry as this and it actually misspelled it. I don't know if we should change the temperature. Let's go to 1.5 and see if more creativeness will actually help it. Let's go to 1.5. Let's ask it the same question again. Let's see. Okay. So actually with 1.5, it has been able to answer the question. All right, so 3 R's in the word strawberry. And let's go ahead and ask the previous questions that I haven't been able to answer before. And let's see if it's going to be able to answer them with the temperature 1.5. No chance. No. Okay, so let's say with 1.5 and let's go ahead and continue. So this is actually a very, very telling question. I think the only model that has been able to answer this 8th question is Claude 3.5 Sonnet. And it is actually a variation of the Monty Hall problem. So if you don't know the Monty Hall problem, it's everywhere. Just go and Google it. But basically the idea is that you are in a game show. You have 3 doors, 2, you have goats behind them, and 1 door where you have a car. You want the car, of course. So you choose 1 door, and then the host will reveal a goat in the other 2 doors and will give you the choice between switching or not. And the usual circumstances where the host knows the answer, you should always switch, because you're going to have 2 out of 3 chances if you switch to win, because basically the host knows where the car is. But in this case, suppose that the host does not know where the car is, and he just like by accident revealed 1 door and there was a goat behind it. Would you still switch or not? That is the question. So let's read the question together. Suppose you are on a game show and you're given the choice of 3 doors. Behind 1 door is a car, behind the other is goats. The host is ignorant about what is behind each door. You pick a door, say number 1, and the host walks across the stage and falls on accident, revealing a ghost behind door number 3. He then picks himself up and say, sorry about that, but now we know that a goat is behind door number 3. Do you want to change your selection? Pick number 2. So he's basically giving you the chance. So is it to your advantage to switch or not? And this is a very important question. Why? Because the answer is that it is not to your advantage. You are not going to have 2 on 3 chances. You will have a 50-50 chance, because the host, when it reveals the door, it did not know where the car is. The events of revealing the door and the prior knowledge of the host are not linked. So what happens is, for large language models, usually they are going to default to the Monty Hall problem, and they're going to say, yes, it is to your advantage to switch the door every time. So let's go ahead and run it. And I expect it's going to say yes. Of course, it's going to say yes. Switch the door, and it's going to give me basically the Monty Hall problem. Always switch your choice in the Monty Hall problem. You double your chances of winning the car. That is the wrong answer. Okay, so let's give it the benefit of the doubt and let's ask it again. Let's say, even though the event of revealing the door is not linked to prior knowledge from the host, is it still to your advantage to switch your choice? And I think it's going to say yes. Yeah. All right, so this is wrong. And as I said, the only model that has been able to answer this question is Claude 3.5 Sonnet. And I think GPT-4o only answered it when I actually pushed it multiple times. So the other models were not even close. Okay, so let's go ahead and ask the next questions. Answer the following questions step by step. A 4-inch giant wakes up every year to consume an entire group of sheep. In the last 3 years, it has devoured 161 sheep. Each time it awakens, the herd it targets has twice the population of the last. How many sheep were in the first group being consumed? So we have an x plus 2x plus 4x, which is equal to 161, and that is basically 161, and the answer is 23, so that is a 10. Okay, now let's go ahead to some coding. And let's ask, write a Python function that prints all odd numbers from 5 to 102. And let's see what's going to do. Okay, so that looks correct. That's good. Okay, until 103, which is very good. So 102 is inside of the loop. Now let's go ahead and ask another question. Write a visual Minesweeper game, 10 columns and 8 rows in Python. The game should show the score and allow us to add a flag when right-clicking on a box, and should be visually appealing. So we basically want a normal Minesweeper game. So let's go ahead and see what it's going to do in this case. I think for the other models, the best implementation was actually from Claude 3.5 Sonnet and from GPT-4 Turbo. So that is pretty fast for a long code. So let's go ahead and copy the code. Let's go to here. Let's run the game. Oh my God, did not even work. So let's go ahead and give it the error. I got an error. I basically have to look in the code and basically change this function. So let's go ahead and copy this code, let's paste it in here, and let's run it again. And now it is working. So let's go ahead and start playing. So, okay, let's see if we can flag. That's good. We can actually flag it, and the score goes up with the flag. So that is actually very good. And let's try to finish the game really quick and see if it's going to work. So the game is not working correctly. It's not a 0, but still, when I clicked on a couple of boxes, it is not working until I click on a mine and actually said game over, which is good. Not all of the models have been able to do so. So it is not 100% pass. It's not 100% fail as well, but still, it is not a playable game, I would say. All right, so let's go ahead and go to the last question. So consider you're a teacher and a co-teacher was looking at their phone on the playground with one of the students under their supervision, fell off the equipment and broke their arm. If you tell the truth, the co-teacher who is supporting 3 children as a single parent will be fired. So options: tell the truth or cover for the... So this question is not to see how it's gonna weigh in the options. I wanna see if it's gonna be able to actually answer the question without me forcing it. Because most of the models will just basically give you either a recommendation of a middle ground or something like this. I wanna see if it actually can answer the question or actually steer me with a clear recommendation. This is a complex ethical dilemma. Both options have significant consequences, so telling the truth. Consequences is called considerations, honesty and integrity, responsibility and accountability, justice and welfare of the child. Option 2, cover for the co-teacher. The co-teacher keeps their job and can support their family. You might compromise their own integrity and potentially face consequences. The truth discovered later. That is good. The school might avoid immediate repercussions, but could face greater consequences in the future if similar incidents occur. The injured students and their family might not receive proper compensation of support, ethical consideration, loyalty and compassion, potential harm, deception, long-term consequences. Okay, so recommendation. The situation requires careful consideration, nuanced approach. Here's a potential course of action. Talk to the co-teacher, express your concern, explore alternative, discuss potential solutions that might mitigate the consequences for the co-teacher while ensuring accountability. Consider the severity if the injury was severe. Okay, that's actually a good point. Or if there is a pattern of negligence, the ethical obligation to tell the truth might outweigh the potential hardship for the co-teacher. Seek guidance. Okay, I'm going to try to force it to give me an answer. Let's say I want you to choose between the options I've just gave you. Okay, so it basically said you have to tell the truth, which is good because it actually gave me an answer instead of just dancing around the question. So that is actually very good. I'm going to give it a 5 simply because it did not answer right away. I think the only model that basically was very strong in terms of recommending covering for the teacher actually was Claude Sonnet. It did not answer from the first start, but it was strongly recommending covering for the teacher, and it did answer right away when I asked it again. So that's why I gave it a 7. So Claude 3.5 actually is the only one that said that you should cover for the teacher. All of the other ones said that you should tell the truth, which is actually quite funny. So yeah, so that's basically it. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you want me to ask any other questions to the models or add something to this tiny benchmark, just let me know. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll catch you guys next time. Peace.